guys, so I'm Rachel Thompson. I work at Sage and I was asked today how I found it returning from maternity leave, and I thought I hadn't checked in with you guys in a little bit, so thought I would tell you lot as well. So basically, I returned back from maternity at the beginning of August this year, so I've been back like 4 and a bit months now. So far it's going good. But in terms of returning from maternity, there was a lot of mixed emotions. I was really excited, but also I was worried and I was concerned about the challenges that would be in play as well. Things that I was worried about is like how my little one was settling at nursery. That was a bit of a concern for me. I was worried whether I'd forgotten to do my job. Also, has my job forgotten me? And how will I manage like things like the morning rush, the commutes and drop off and pick up and organising dinner and bedtime, and then also be able to do my job as well. So there was a few worries, but I knew it would be all right. But now I'm 4 months in, I thought I'd share how it's going. So I guess some of my top tips for anyone who's in this situation now would be, or is due to go back to maternity, return from maternity soon, would be there's no one size fits all measure. So be realistic and do what works best for you. Don't overstretch yourself. You know, you've got to juggle work, children, if you've got any pets or dogs walking, picking up the shopping, making dinner, if you go to the gym. So you've got to, you know, there's a lot going on, but also you need to make sure that you don't overstretch yourself. So in those first few months of returning to work, I'd probably say like don't overcommit to going on too many big nights out, or attending too many events like after work. Just rein it in a little bit, just to give yourself a little bit of time and to get used to the new routine. You need to plan that new routine. So the more you plan, then the easier it will be. That's probably my biggest tip, is the more you plan, the easier it is. You know, you need to work out how long it's going to take you to get sorted in the morning for you to leave the house at a certain time, what time you need to drop your little one off at nursery or at their childcare. But also how long it'll then take you to get into work. Has your work hours changed? Because, you know, would it be better for you to work slightly different hours than what you did before you went off on maternity leave? And if so, then maybe that's a conversation with your employer. I work at Sage, and before I went off on maternity, I was doing 8 till 4. And since returning, I've had to vary my hours slightly. So I now work, it's about 8:15 till about 4:15, or sometimes it's a little bit later depending on how quick I can drop the little one off at nursery. But it's great working at Sage because they really feel like flexible on that. But you need to think about whether your employer's as flexible, and see, you know, explain to them what works well for you as well, and see if they can work with it. Plan and prepare. So get your clothes ready, get lunches ready, get dinners, teas, their clothes, nappies out, everything ready for the next day, so that there's, you know, everything's prepared. So in that morning rush, you're not also looking around to see, you know, where's the nappies, where's the socks, you know, everything's all sorted. Consider new ways of working. You know, would it be better to do compressed hours? Would it be better to do different hours? Is it better for yourself to go back, you know, a smaller number of days? So I've gone back full time, but I've used my holidays. So instead of getting paid my holidays, I've taken them on a Friday just for the first sort of 4 months of me returning back to work, which has worked really well and eased me back in. But also I'm aware that in January I'm back full time, so 5 days from January, so that'll be fun, a little bit to get used to. Also, make sure that your employer supports you in kind of what, you know, your plans and how you're going to, you know, talk to them about, you know, things that you've got to, you know, what time you can drop off at nursery, what time you can pick up, and, you know, see if there's anything that they suggest as well that other people do. I mean, return to work is really great. I guess one of the big things is being mentally stimulated again, because although you know, being off on maternity wasn't an easy ride. It was hard. There was a lot of learning on how to, you know, look after this little human being. But also it's really great being back at work and having that adult conversation and mental stimulation. It is really worth it. Another thing would be on your return to work date, maybe on the first week back, possibly do shorter days or a shorter week that week, so it's a bit more of a slower introduction for yourself. So don't go back 5 days that first week. Ease yourself back in if you can. Plan for sickness or illness. So when your little one goes to nursery or childcare, when they're going to be meeting and greeting with other kids, chances are, you know, they are going to get ill. There is going to be some level of sickness, whether that be a cold, whether that be hand, foot and mouth, whether that be a stomach bug or chicken pox or whatever. You know, plan for that. So if there's times when your little one's too unwell, who's going to look after them? What's your plan A, B and C? And really it's just till they build up their immune system more and they get used to kind of the germs in everyday life, that then they'll, you know, the sickness won't be as regular, hopefully. But those first few weeks, just be prepared for them being ill and you catching it. So I've had probably for the last 8 weeks of my little one being unwell. So it's been hard, but it's been, you know, it's been fine. We've worked through it. If nursery won't accept, if you've got a friend, if you've got a family member who can look after or explain to work, if you haven't got anyone, that you will be the person who has to stand in. I guess also one of the concerns about return to work was the confidence gap. So if you think about when you've been off, you've had someone else doing your job, and actually, you know, coming back, I guess I had a sense of, will I be good enough? Will I forgot everything? And, you know, how will I remember like what I did before, and will I be as good or will I be better, or, you know, how will it be? And I guess my tip for that would be to give yourself time to settle yourself back in, you know, get up to speed with what's changed and anything that you knew that you need to learn or what's happened while you've been off. Like, give yourself time to do that. Don't rush back in and think that you know everything, because you don't, and things will have changed. And there will be stuff just to refresh on. So give yourself time to learn that. You know, be good to yourself. You know, going back to work, it's exhilarating, it's challenging, and it's totally exhausting. Not gonna lie. But you need to look after yourself at the same time, because as well as looking after your child and doing your job, you've also got to think about you too. So, you know, don't sit there on your mobile phone on social media late at night. If you know you've got to be up at 6 a.m, then turn it off and go. If you think that you need to go to bed at 10 o'clock, then go to bed at 10 o'clock. Don't sit playing on social media. Relax. So like I said earlier, don't have loads of big nights out planned. Like, chill a bit. Like, give yourself time to get back in the swing of being at work and get back in the swing of what your new routine is before you try and push yourself too much. Otherwise you'll completely flatten yourself. Treat yourself. So what floats your boat. If you really enjoy having that mid-morning coffee, or if you love a takeaway on a Friday night, treat yourself, because you're working hard. Then you deserve to have those little treats in life. Make it worth it. You know, talk to others as well who are in a similar situation. So if you know anyone else at work, or any of your friends who return from maternity at a similar time to you, you know, if you're finding certain things hard, then talk to them about it. See if they're finding things, or they might have some good tips that work well for you, that you can share. So, you know, talk about it, and give yourself a break. Like, if you need to, you know, if it's been one of those days where everything's kind of back to back, you're rushing around, you know, don't feel guilty for leaving Peppa Pig on for 5 minutes longer just so you can sit and have a cup of tea while your little one's entertained. That's, you know, parenting, you don't get prizes in parenting, and sometimes you've got to do what's, you know, what works for you, but don't judge yourself too much. Just do what you think's right. I guess a lot of it is you've got to muddle your way through and find a routine that works for you. And like I said at the beginning, like, there's not one size fits all. I absolutely loved being off on maternity leave. It was great and it was such an experience, but I 100% love being back at work. I work for Sage, who were a fantastic employer, who are really supportive, and yeah, I've got great colleagues around me. I absolutely love being back at work. I love the fact that I'm back doing a job that I love for a company I love, and that I've got my independence and me back, but I also love spending time with the little one. It's just about getting that balance right. Like, I'm only 4 months in, I'm still learning and I'm still trying to crack that routine, but it's getting there, and every day does get easier. And that first, you know, that first month coming back to work was hard, getting back in a routine, but it was totally worth it. So if anyone is nervous or going back soon, like, don't worry guys, you'll be fine. Like, just give yourself time, don't put too much pressure on yourself, enjoy it for what it is. It's so great having the independence of being back at work and feeling like I'm me again, but also it's so rewarding the fact that I come home and get to spend so much time with my little one too, so that's really awesome. I guess the biggest learning curve is that I'm now super efficient. I've learned like to really work well with my time, and that's in both home life and work life. So I managed to fit so much more in the day, and I don't know, like, I thought I was efficient before I had the little one, but now yeah, there's no stopping me. I managed to get a lot in the day than what I never thought I would do. So yeah, so there's a big learning curve, but don't worry, you'll be fine if you're going back soon. Talk about it. If you're having a stressful day, be easy on yourself, be good, and yeah, it'll be fine. So yeah, don't worry. And my dog is come to say hi. So at that note, I will see you later, and thanks for listening guys. Speak soon.